I played 100 Days of Stardew Valley, but as a forager. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome to a 100 Days Stardew Valley challenge. For the purpose of this video, we are going to play through one whole year of Stardew Valley, primarily using the foraging skill sets. Let's see how much money we can make using the foraging skill. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. We're now on 20,000 subscribers. I'd love to see the channel grow a bit more. It is day number 1. We start by collecting our free parsnip seeds given to us by Mayor Lewis. We're now going to cut down some trees. We're going to get rid of all the debris so it doesn't get in our way. And we're going to plant those parsnips and water them up for the rest of the day. Once we make our chest, we're going to run around the entirety of the map and look for as many forageables as possible. This is a foraging challenge after all. Now, we will be using all of the professions, of course. We do need to max out every skill in order for us to get foraging mastery. So you will be seeing lots of mining, combat and farming, but later on in the video you will primarily see just endgame foraging, and I'm going to show you in this video how overpowered foraging actually is now after the 1.6 update. I'm also going to get all of those lovely wild spring onions because they also get foraging XP, but more importantly they will give a lot of energy so I can cut down even more trees before I go to bed. I get 12 XP per tree, and all the mods that I use in this video will be listed in the description just so you know. What you see here is the UI info suite too, because a lot of people ask that in the comments. Now, I'm not trying to make a whole lot of money in spring. Primarily what I want to do is get as many skill ups as possible so I can start breaking into the mastery territory. We will do all of the help wanted quests we can get. Robin is looking for the parsnip. Not too sure if that will be ready on time for Robin though, but we'll see. We're picking up more forageables today. It is day number 2. Normally I spend the whole of day number 2 just fishing, but this is a foraging challenge. Now, we will do a fair bit of fishing because we have to get that to level 10, but once we get fishing to level 10, you don't really see any more fishing after that. So we will do some fishing today just for the sake of skill ups. The more perfect catches I get, the more XP I'm going to get, and that means the more time I have doing foraging rather than doing other stuff. Now, I managed to get some pretty decent loot today from fishing, and what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to sell all this fish and I'm going to try to buy as much crops as possible to push farming up to level 10 as quickly as possible. I went up to the lake earlier on and I managed to get bubbles up here, and I got a huge amount of fish from the bubbles, which was nice. I also got some really good rewards from the treasure chests. For example, I got lots of coal. The next day we have the rain. Now, we always get rain on day number 3, but the first thing I'm going to do is go down here and pick up all of these lovely spring onions. We're then going to go to Willy here. We have 1800 gold. We will purchase the fiberglass rod because it does make fishing a little bit more lucrative because the fiberglass rod gives you a much better loot pool. I am aiming to get tons of catfish today. Not only do they sell for lots of gold, they give you lots of fishing XP. We're doing even more fishing today as well. So basically the current tactic is we're collecting forageables and we're fishing. We're trying to power up fishing as quickly as possible. It's time to get our dog. We're going to call it after one of our newest members, Fluffy Fish. Welcome to the GamerGar membership. So we're going to make sure that we're on very good terms with Fluffy Fish for this whole challenge, because once we max out Fluffy Fish's friendship, he will start bringing us lovely gifts every couple of days, which is really nice. So we're going to pick up our parsnips today. We're now on day number 5. We're collecting even more forageables. I'm getting leeks, daffodils. I'm also going to pick up more spring onions today as well, because every single bit of XP will count towards getting those lovely mastery levels. We're also going to visit the mines today and we're going to blow up all of those lovely copper ores. That gives us lots of XP, lots of copper. We get our first pair of boots, which is the leather boots plus 1 defense, which is nice. I got really lucky with the copper that day, and the next day I'm going to make lots of furnaces. Now, I could have kept the majority of that copper and I could have went for 2 upgrades, but I feel like if I just prioritise furnaces now and copper later, I'll end up being able to smelt way more bars. I managed to get an ancient seed off of one of the flies, so that's going to be an early ancient fruit, which is nice farming XP for us. Now, I'm going to sell the diamond, amethyst, emeralds all to Clint because I need more money. I could have given them to Gunther, but money is more important at the moment. I'm also going to sell the cookies and the parsnips, put me up to 8800 gold. We will get the first backpack upgrade. It's only 2000 gold, but I do get double the backpack slots. Definitely worth it. I'm now going to use all my money and purchase 98 pieces of kale, The reason why I'm getting kale is because it's super fast to harvest it. You just need a scythe and you have it done within 1 in-game hour, no problem at all. We're going to plant all of the kale. It is going to take quite some time to water all this up, but it's going to pay off, because this is how we max out our farming level as early as possible. We just have to spam the crops. After all the trees I've cut down, I managed to get enough wood to fix the bridge, and because today is Saturday, we're going to get the maximum benefits of going to the tide pool here, picking up all of the forageables before it resets on Sunday. The next day starts with me watering the crops, and a lot of days will start this way unfortunately, but it's got to be done. I'm now going to donate some spring forageables here to the community centre. The reward, 30 spring seeds ready to be planted. I also gave Demetrius a carp as part of a help wanted quest. The reward was 90 gold, but the only reason we're doing these help wanted quests are to get prize tickets, because we can get star drop teas from those, and star drop teas are an absolute game changer. We're going to spend the rest of the day pulling up more fish to see if we can max out this fishing skill as quickly as possible. We're also going to visit Clint, and we're going to upgrade our pickaxe just to a copper pickaxe so we can make more progress in the mines without using up too much energy and valuable time. We're getting more spring onions today, more forageables, and we are doing more fishing. We're now on fishing level 7, so we are getting it up quite quickly, but the last few fishing levels always take ages to get up, because every time you get a skill up, you need more and more XP to get the next professional level. I got a bone flute today. Now I'm not going to give that to Gunther. I'm just going to sell that for money, because money is just so important right now. Let's have a look at the next help wanted quest. It's Demetrius again. He's looking for a quartz. That's not a problem at all. Quartz are very common inside the mines. I'm going to cut down more trees today on the farm, because I need to accumulate thousands upon thousands of wood for the future of our foraging farm. I also want to get foraging maxed out as quickly as possible. It is a very tough profession to max out. Even if we pull up thousands of forageables from the ground, you don't get a whole lot of XP like you used to pre 1.6. The rest of the day was spent cutting down trees. I just wanted to go until my character basically passed out. Now I had to be careful, because I had 6,300 gold, so if I did pass out I could lose up to 1,000 gold, so I gotta watch out here, and I need to make sure to go to bed on time. I just wanted to add that last foraging level before I woke up the next day, so I'd wake up with maximum energy. Because watering up all of these crops, all of these forageables, it does take enormous amounts of energy and time. I now get my copper pickaxe off Clint so we can go back into the mines, but first I'm going to give him the regular axe to upgrade to a copper axe. It just means less swings to take those trees out, and I can also start cutting down the regular tree stumps as well to get hardwood. Later on in the challenge, I do want to make thousands of mushroom logs. The mushroom logs require hardwood as one of the base materials, so we need to start getting our hands on hardwood much earlier rather than later. After watering up all the crops, my character is almost near exhaustion. Not to worry though, there will be stuff we can pick up along the way that will give us energy, for example the spring onions. I gave Demetrius his quartz, he's super happy with that. Going back into the mines, I'm making some good progression. I managed to get a diamond today on floor 31. That was extremely satisfying. They sell for 750 gold. Marcelo visited Stardew Valley today. Let's have a look at his books. He's got skill up books such as Mining Monthly, Combat Quarterly. We can't really afford those right now though, but they are books we will get later on. He's also got books of power that will give us permanent speed increases. We can also purchase those later on too when we have more money. For now, we need to focus on tool upgrades, and we need to focus on crops. When I got down to floor 40, I picked up the regular slingshot here, so we made really nice progression today. Now it was 9 o'clock, so I do push for a few more floors. I got the copper axe off Clint the next day. Now I have 7,600 gold, and I do have some iron bars, so we are going to go straight into a steel pickaxe upgrade before we go any further in the regular mines. Now normally I don't bother getting the steel pickaxe until I have the mines cleared, but I figured if I get the steel pickaxe now, I can make even faster progression. With the axe upgraded to a copper axe, just north of the Georgia Mart, I can get up into a little secret area here, clear away the tree stump and get a free prized ticket. I also did a quest for Gus here too. He was looking for a flounder. It says 300 more gold in the bag. There's lots of tree stumps on the farm, so I'm going to spend the day cutting down all trees. I get 25 foraging XP per stump. I also get hardwood, so the sooner I raise all those the better. The next day was a very satisfying day. I get to harvest all of the kale. I'm going to get tons of XP for that. I made one mistake though. I thought I could sell the kale tip here at the Easter event, but I can't. I did, however, have some money to buy 32 strawberry seeds. I was hoping to buy a lot more, but 32 will have to do for now. I did win the Easter event and I'm going to get the straw hat and I'll equip that straight away. Before the day is finished, I ran back down to the beach and I collected all of the forageables in the beach area because today was Saturday. It was the last accumulation before everything was set. Now I got extremely lucky tonight. I got visited by a fairy and she blessed my strawberries with her fairy magic. These strawberries are now going to fully grow, which means I can get multiple harvests before summer. Demetrius also visited me the next day. He gave me a choice between mushrooms and bats. I'm going to go with mushrooms because it's a foraging challenge. Having the ability to harvest mushrooms every 2 days, it's going to be a game changer. So we now have level 5 farming. We're doing really nice with farming. It would be nice to get that to 10 before summer. We're going to upgrade our axe to a steel axe right now. That means we can start clearing up the large tree stumps. It just means more hardwood for us. It also means early access to the secret woods so we can start farming the tree stumps every single day to accumulate as much hardwood as possible. After giving Haley a birthday gift, I went back into the mines. I managed to grab another diamond. I would absolutely sell that for even more money. And we're trying to make some progress here. We can one-shot all the nodes on this floor, so it's really handy. I also picked up a monster compendium, and that gives me a small chance for monsters to drop double loot, which is absolutely amazing. On floor 60, I picked up the crystal dagger. It's actually a very nice weapon. It's got a very nice crit chance, so we are going to use it for the time being because we don't have anything better for now. The crystal dagger is a very nice weapon early on. It has a nice crit chance. When it crits, it has a lot of quick power, so it will pack in a lot of early to mid-tier enemies in just a few swings. The problem with the crystal dagger, and this problem kind of goes towards most daggers, is that it's simply a dagger. It doesn't have a great attack arc. I managed to get a breakfast chair off one of the grubs. I thought that was just hilarious, so I left it in here for the footage, just to show you now that monsters post 1.6 have a chance of dropping random bits of furniture. I also got the insect head as well from slaying tons of enemies. This is a huge upgrade from the crystal dagger. It's a level 6 weapon and it will decimate enemies in the regular versions of the mines. The next day I get my first batch of forageables. I'm going to pick them up, harvest more, plant them right back onto the farm, and this process will just be looped around until we have hundreds and thousands of forageables. Now, we can collect salmon berries today. We also get a very small amount of XP too for collecting salmon berries, so it's just an added perk to 1.6. We're going to visit Pierre today. I've got 11,000 gold. You guessed it, we're going to blow the whole thing on kale. Now, this is going to make our lives quite miserable for the next couple of days, but it's going to pay off when we harvest all this kale in just 6 days. I'm hoping at this moment in time when I do harvest that kale, it's going to max out my farming skills, but we're going to have to wait and see. For the rest of the day, it was back to farm management. I was mining up ores, cutting down trees, any sort of debris that I could clear off the farm. I was doing that with my advanced tools. I now got the steel axe, so I now have a steel axe and a steel pickaxe. There's a lot of places I could go, including a secret area just to the right of Clint's shop, where you need a steel axe to get rid of the large tree stump and a steel pickaxe to get rid of the big large stone. I can now access a hidden item here called the golden trash can. This gives me a book of power called the Alleyway Buffet, and it's an amazing book of power. You now have a greater chance to find items in the trash cans, so it just makes looting those trash cans a little bit more exciting. You can get some really good stuff from trash cans, including diamonds. So I completed a quest for Robin here, gathering stone. She was super happy with that. I'm also giving Caroline, you guessed it, we're giving her daffodils. Reason being, we want to get her the 2 hearts, we want to learn the tea saplings. We will be using tea saplings in this challenge, but we're going to be using them in a way that you never seen me use them before. We're actually going to plant them in the ground, and we are going to harvest them at the end of each season. I picked up a wood mallet today. It's level 3 club. It's a lovely weapon, but we're going to keep the insect head for now. The insect head is such a fabulous weapon. I got lots of iron ore today. More skin ups in the mining perk as well. Any sort of iron cluster like this, I just make a cherry bomb. It saves a ton of energy. It saves a ton of time. If I was to mine all that up manually, I don't think I would have had the time to do so, considering it was almost 2 o'clock, almost time to pass out. Before we pass out though, I made it to floor 80, picked up the Firewalker boots. We just have a few floors to go before we can nab that skull key. Level 5 mining will take miner plus 1 ore per vein. The more ores we get, the better. I also have a dehydrator here as well, so I just dried some salmon berries there. And the dried salmon berries are pretty nice, plus 75 energy. The only problem with the dehydrator is that it takes almost a whole day for it to dry goods, which is unfortunate. So if you want to make the most of the dehydrator, you really have to stack up on them. A good portion of today is spent just picking up forageables, getting as many salmon berries as I can, going back down into the mines. Despite the fact that it was a rainy day, I could have got catfish. I was more interested in general progression than anything else, because I don't really need money that much right now. Foraging is a profession where you don't need a whole lot of money to invest in it. What I really needed was skill ups, and all of these monsters slain is valuable combat XP for me. When I got to floor 90, I picked up the Obsidian Edge. Now this is actually a slight weapon upgrade, so we will swap over to that. Another diamond today, which was so nice, 150 mining XP. Made it down to floor 100, picked up the first star drop of the challenge, and we do get a lot of star drops during our foraging challenge, which is nice. More forageables can be collected today. Look at the amount of crops though we have to water on the farm. It's no mean feat. This will take huge amount of in-game hours to do. Getting all those common mushrooms in the farm cave is a game changer because it's extra energy for me to water up the crops. Now on floor 108 in the mines, and we're steadily making progress. We're almost down to the bottom. When we get to floor 110, we pick up the Spacewalker boots. When we go to sleep, we're going to get the fighter perk. That is, all attacks do 10% additional damage. The next day, we're going to go straight back into the mines. I found some really good stuff today, including a couple of rubies, which can be converted into triple shot expressos when we start doing skull cavern runs. Speaking of which, we just made it to floor 120. We picked up the skull key. That will enable us to enter the skull caverns, but first we have to unlock the bus. With the prize tickets we've currently accumulated, I'm going to get some extra goodies here, some carrot seeds, I'm going to get a peach sapling, and some mixed seeds will go a long way early on in the challenge. Now I'm going to sell just a couple of items up here to get our gold up to 10,000 so I can get the last backpack upgrade. This is all of the inventory slots unlocked, so the sooner we get that done, the better. The rest of the day is just spent fishing. I'm level 8 fishing at the moment. Because I've unlocked over 2 prize tickets using help wanted quests, I now get the key cutscene where we can now collect mystery boxes all over Stardew Valley. So the minimum requirement for that is 2 prize tickets via help wanted quests. Today was going to be a banger of a day. Look at all of the strawberries we get to harvest, but look at all of the kale we get to sight the way. We're going to get some serious farming XP for this. We've already jumped over level 6, which means we can now make quality sprinklers. We're currently on farming level 7, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to bop us up to farming level 10. We will need to harvest a lot more crops to maximize farming. But if we sell all of our strawberries and all of our kale, we get our gold up to 28,000. We will immediately spend 5,000 of that gold to unlock the Georgia membership. That's right folks, we are going the Georgia route. It's about time we went to Georgia route again. So we're going to go to the shop here now and we're going to sell minerals to Clint because I need more money to get more upgrades done. We're also going to get Clint to process all of the geodes that we have accumulated so far. And what we can do with these geodes is we can just give them into Gunther to make some progress there with the artifacts. With my steel axe, I'm going to access the secret woods here, and we can access this area every single day, and we can start cutting down those tree stumps, which is really good foraging XP, and it's also hardwood. We're also going to clear all of the large tree stumps and regular tree stumps off the farm today, just to get more hardwood and more foraging XP. So we passed out today because it got to 2 o'clock. We reached farming level 6. We can now make the quality sprinkler. We got farming level 7 and we even got foraging level 5. Now we could take forester. Trees drop 25% more wood, but we need more foraging XP, so we're going to go with gatherer. A chance at a double harvest. A double harvest means double XP for us. So I'm at 140 spring seeds today. They're going to go a long way. I also made 26 quality sprinklers, and because today was raining, we can set up this kale quite nicely indeed. We're going to spend a huge amount of our money now on kale. I'm going to get 200 seeds in total, which is a bit overkill for spring, but I just want to max out these skills as quickly as I can. We got a super rare event here known as a catfish frenzy. Now you can have all different types of fish frenzy, but it was very nice to get a catfish frenzy today. It was a rainy day, and it just means that we can pull up loads of catfish in a very small time frame. So we're going to get lots of fishing XP, we're going to get lots of money from this. It was just a really nice mini event to come across. Because our fishing skill is so high, we have a pretty good sized fishing bar. The catfish are much easier to pull up now. After pulling up catfish for the whole day, I made lots of money. The next day I didn't have to do a whole lot of watering because I had invested in a pickaxe upgrade earlier rather than later. I had lots of resources to make lots of quality sprinklers. It was just a game changer right there. We're still visiting Caroline. We are still giving her gifts. Gold star daffodils if possible. Once we get her to 2 hearts, we can get the tea saplings. I hold up Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick from the ground. It is a book of power and it gives a permanent increase to our defense, which is a defense +1, and that goes a long way, especially because it can stack amongst other defense items such as our boots and food buffs. Before the day is out, we're going to go back into Secret Woods and we're going to collect all this hardwood. We also get fishing level 10 today, so we're just going to take angler for now. All fish worth 50% more, and that is the fishing skill maxed out. So the only time that we're kind of going to fish now is that if we get a quest that requires us to fish, or if we need to fish as a loved gift. We're not really going to be using fishing anymore to make money. What we're trying to do now is accelerate the rest of our skills, and that is going to start by cutting down some trees. We're also going to go to the flower dance event today, and we're going to pick up a couple of recipes along with the flower dance rare crow. Now unfortunately we didn't have a whole lot of friendship points accumulated with any of the NPCs, so we don't get to become the flower dance king today. We're going to have to sit that one out. During the night though, before I went to bed, I had a lot of energy, so I used it and cut down more trees. The next day a lot of the strawberries had regrown, so we're going to pick all those up, and we finally get into Caroline's sunroom. She's going to teach us the recipe to make tea saplings, and we are going to fill up our farm with tea saplings over the next couple of seasons. Today is going to be another day of just cutting down trees here. We're going to cut down as many trees as the day allows. We have lots of items for energy on us as well. The current tactic is to try to accelerate foraging to level 7 as quickly as possible, so we can make tree fertilizers, so we can start amassing huge tree farms. I made an absolute ton of tea saplings today thanks to the recipe Caroline sent me in the mail. Now we're not going to plant those tea saplings out on our farm. Instead we're going to sell those to Pierre because we need to get some more powerful perks off the lovely Morris. We will pick up a quest for Clint for him to inspect some coal, so we can do that in the next few days. I'm now up to almost 50,000 gold. We are going to get another Georgia development project on the way here, and this is going to be the greenhouse. A lot of you would have been expecting the desert, but the greenhouse makes more sense because we can fill that up with spring forageables and we can harvest those over and over again for additional foraging XP. So now that we have fixed the greenhouse, we also got access to the raccoon, so hopefully in the next few days we get a quest to fix up the raccoon's tree stump and we can get some really nice prizes from the raccoon and his future wife. We're collecting more mushrooms today from our mushroom cave, and we're cutting down even more trees. There's still a lot of trees on the farm that have to be cut down. I've no problem doing it though because I'm getting tons of wood in return and I'm getting tons of foraging XP. So we are going to plant all of our accumulated tree seeds today. And what you're going to see now are tons of little miniature tree farms on our little farm here, and each farm will serve a purpose. Right now though, I'm in the process of thinking up what that process is going to be. Some will have tappers, some we're just going to cut them down to get wood and replant again. We're also going to go back into the secret woods. We're going to cut down the usual stumps again to get even more foraging XP and to get hardwood. Finally, it is the last day of spring, and look at all this magnificent kale we get to harvest with our scythe. This has pushed us straight into farming level 8. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to max out the farming skill. We did get quite close though. I'm also going to purchase the rare seed today because Evelyn is going to give me a garden pot and I can grow the rare seed inside the garden pot in my lovely cozy house. I sold a pile of kale today to Pierre. I made back a ton of gold. It's now time for another Georgia community development project. This time it will be the bus, so we can do some skull cavern runs to try to max out our combat and mining skills over the next couple of weeks in order to reach foraging mastery. The rest of the day we are doing what any good foraging farmer would do, and that's cutting down trees. The more trees I cut down, the more I realised that I actually missed a lot of tree stumps, so it was extra hardwood, extra foraging XP for me. Any sort of stones that were left lingering on the farm, they were picked up very quickly with the pickaxe. So what I'm aiming for here is just a huge farm that I can fill up with trees and forage items such as mushroom logs. Here is a magnificent cutscene of Morris working super hard with his team on fixing up the bus. Level 8 farming, we can now make the cake. We also got level 9 farming, we can make Iridium sprinklers, so doing Iridium skull cavern runs will be worth it. And we also got the level 7 foraging, so we can now make tree fertilizers. So we're off to a very good start in summer. It's time to prep up the farm and get it ready for new forageables. We also have access to the summer squash, which is quite similar to the carrot, it's just the summer variant. We're going to talk to Sandy now today, and we're going to spend what little money we have on starfruit. We can only get 16 pieces, and the reason why I'm purchasing starfruit is because you get a lot of XP for putting that up out of the ground. While we're in the desert, we might as well cut down all of the trees, pick up all of the forageables, and just take the desert for everything it's got. We got a quest from the wizard Rasmodius to come down here and slay a squid kid, so we've just done that there, and the squid kids can be quite rare sometimes. You could transverse a lot of floors and not see them. So just before the day ended, I found the wizard here stuck in the side of a cliff. I spoke to him, 700 gold in the bag, one step closer to another prize ticket. We're back in the secret woods and we're cutting down more large tree stumps. I'm also going to make more furnaces because there's going to be a lot more minerals now coming into the farm very soon, and I want to be able to make quality sprinklers and Iridium sprinklers on a very large scale. So it's time for another help wanted quest. This time Demetrius wants us to fish up some pike. The reward this time though, because it is the third help wanted quest that we're going to complete in a row, is going to be a lovely prize ticket that we can hand into Merluce's ticket machine. I'm also going to purchase some melon seeds today as well, just to ensure I get that farming up to level 10 as quickly as possible. I fished up the pike, spoke to Demetrius, 300 gold in the bag, and another prize ticket in the pocket. We're going to go back to our cozy little farm. We're going to plant all of our melons down now on the ground. I'm also going to make some lightning rods so I can start amassing battery packs. These batteries will be needed for quests down the road. They'll also be needed for the more advanced structures we can make later on, once we start maxing out all of our skills. I also spent a great deal of that day collecting fibre, because we are going to need tons of fibre for tree fertilizers and tea saplings and everything in between. So we're putting forageables up there into the greenhouse right now, and that's going to pay off dramatically over the next couple of seasons. We got a rainy day today, which was nice. Anytime we get a rainy day, it just makes it a lot easier to work with sprinklers and to make our farming patches a lot bigger. By the end of this challenge, you're going to see huge farming patches just filled up with all sorts of mutated crops and forageable items. We're back down into the mines today. We're farming floor 81 primarily for fibre, but if we do see big gold clusters like that, we will grab them straight away. So I have amassed now enough fibre and stone to make lots of tree fertilizers. I'm at 75 in total, but that's not enough to grow all of the trees I have on my farm. I will need a lot more. The reason why we have so many trees on our farm is because we want to make use of the mushroom log, and the more trees a mushroom log is connected to, the more mushrooms it is going to give. It is now time to fix up the big stump here by giving it 100 hardwood. We now just have to wait a couple of days and our lovely raccoon neighbour will move straight on in and give us really cool quests to do every week. We're back into the secret woods. We're farming up more mahogany seeds and hardwood. We're now going to go to Ghost and we're going to purchase 50 salads to get ready for the Skull Cavern run. We're also going to visit Desert Trader and we are going to purchase a couple of goodies here, such as the warp totem to the desert. With these warp totems we can now enter Skull Cavern at 6 o'clock in the morning instead of waiting at 10 o'clock for Pam to come along with the bus. For the rest of the day we are going to clear up more areas of the farm. and we're going to cut down loads of trees and cinders at forest. It is now time for our very first skull cavern run. Now we're not coming in here to make great progress, we're coming in here primarily for the combat and mining XP. It is true that if we blow open Iridium nodes we do get tons of XP, but we also want to slay as many enemies as possible to push our combat skill up to 10. The sooner we can get our first mastery skill in foraging, the better. We're also going to aim for mastery in several professions, just to make the most out of this run. Now we picked up an autopetter here on floor number 28, it was super lucky. Unfortunately, we're not going to use any animals during this run, so the autopetter is just going to go back into a chest on the farm and stay there for the rest of the year. I do pick up 4 quality sprinklers though when I got down to floor 100. That was super lucky. Those quality sprinklers will be put to use no problem at all. We are going to get a ton of mining levels today because of the sheer amount of Iridium ores that we get to detonate. We also get super lucky as well, and we managed to find a prismatic shard, so we can upgrade that to a galaxy weapon later on. That's going to make life a lot easier for us. The next day we are going to explore some new areas around Stardew Valley. The bathhouse area is now open, and there's lots of trees, fibre and goodies up there that can be collected every few days. Our lovely raccoon neighbour has also moved in. He's looking for the smoked shed and some periwinkles. It's worth noting that he will take a smoked anything. As long as it's smoked, he won't complain. It doesn't have to be a shed at all. We're going to go down to the tidal area, collect all those forageables, and we're going to put some focus on our farm here now as well, and try to fill it up with as many summer wild seeds as possible. We're also smelting Iridium ores into Iridium bars, and we also get 10,000 gold from Mr. Key the next day, because we made it past floor 25 in the Skull Caverns. With all that money, we are going to purchase the fish smoker recipe. We need that for the raccoon quests. I'm also going to purchase some crab pots because I need those to collect some periwinkles and other bits and bobs the raccoon may ask me to get him later on down the road. I'm also going to visit the desert today. It is Sunday. Primarily, we want to trade in our accumulated jades for staircases, so the next Skull Cavern run will be more successful. We're also going to swap in our prismatic shard for a galaxy sword. This will also unlock the galaxy series inside the Adventurers Guild, so if we want later on we can also get the galaxy hammer or the galaxy dagger depending on our combat playstyle. So what I'm looking for today are cave jellies so I can make the fish smoker. After a good few in-game hours of fishing, I managed to get my very first cave jelly. I was super happy with that. I can now go ahead and make the fish smoker. I also went to the Joja Mart and I got the minecart upgrade, so we can now fast travel all around Stardew Valley no problem at all. Today I got lots of battery packs. I'm going to save those for future Iridium sprinklers. I also completed a help wanted quest for Pam. She was looking for the sandfish. We obliged, of course. The reward was a prize ticket. So we do have a lot of prize tickets accumulated. We should be getting our very first Star Drop tea very soon. It's going to be really nice. We're going to give Gus a diamond today because it's his birthday. Even though we're not really going for 100% on the first year, it is worth our time getting friendship points up with these NPCs if we can, because they can send us very nice things in the mail every couple of days. I'm also going to purchase all of the recipes off Gus as well, because we might need them in the future. I went back to the regular mines today to the starter levels to farm copper ore, because I need to make hundreds of tappers, and if I want that to happen, I need hundreds of copper bars. So I'm going to spend the whole day here mining up as much copper as possible. But if I also see enemies, I will slay those because they do count towards monster eradication goals and you get some good rings that way as well. I also made more tree fertilizers today because I want all of the tree farms to be done as quickly as possible. Now the tree fertilizer I have right now will make a good dent, but it is not going to complete the tree farm project that I have set up on this farm. We're going to need a lot more tree fertilizers, but it is going to dramatically pay off in the next few in-game weeks when you see this farm transform into a fully fledged foraging farm. So I'm at 19 tappers today. That's all I could make. I need more copper bars to make more. I've got the wood, just need the copper. I do have 15,000 gold. I was tempted to go to Clint and purchase copper ores, but I said it was a waste of money. Keep the gold, focus on upgrades, and just grind out the copper in the mines. I'm going to go back to Clint right now and I'm going to get the gold axe. This is going to make cutting down trees way easier because it's going to require a lot less swings. I'm now going to go ahead and upgrade my steel pickaxe to a gold one, and I will try to upgrade that to an iridium one eventually so I can one-shot the nodes inside the Skull Caverns. Now, I met a seed maker there, and the tactic we're going to use here with the seed makers primarily is to just put common mushrooms into them, and we're going to get back fall wild seeds. If we start accumulating fall wild seeds right now, we're going to have tons of them come fall in this game. I also got a level up today in Foraging. We're now Foraging level 8. It is going to be quite a grind though to get Foraging level 10, but when we do get 10, we will get Botanist, and that is going to make everything so much simpler, especially when it comes to using dehydrators, because you can only put one quality type of item into that if you want to dehydrate it, which is unfortunate, but Botanist will make it a lot easier. We're collecting crab pot items today. Primarily we're hoping for periwinkles so we can complete the first Raccoon quest. We are now on the 10th day of summer, so we are actually getting through the challenge fairly well. This is our first good batch of summer forageables. I'm going to convert those back into summer wild seeds. The great thing about summer forageables, you only need 3 summer forageables to make summer seeds, which is absolutely amazing. So we're going to end up with thousands upon thousands of summer forageables within the next week or two. We're going to visit the Raccoon today, and we're going to give him the periwinkles. I also gave him a smoked goldfish. He didn't want a smoked shad, but he doesn't care. Any sort of smoked fish will sort him out, no problem at all. As long as it's smoked, you're good. We are trying to collect more forageables today. If we see trees, we're going to cut them down because we really need to get our foraging up to level 10. If we want that mastery, we need to grind it out. There's no other shortcuts. It was Maru's birthday today. She actually loves battery packs. I had a few lying around, so I gave her one just to get those extra friendship points with Maru. I'm still undecided as to who I'm going to marry in this challenge, but you're going to find out very soon who that prime candidate will be, because we can combine a birthday loved gift with the Star Drop Tea. We can very quickly accumulate friendship points and marry any of the bachelors or bachelorettes at a moment's notice. So I'm putting more spring seeds into the greenhouse here, and eventually that greenhouse will be filled up to the top with spring seeds, and those spring seeds will come in super handy later on, especially for giving gifts to people. I also put a gold star sturgeon into the luau soup here, and that's going to give me back the best results here with the governor, and this is going to give me tons of friendship points with a lot of the Stardew Valley NPCs. I'm also going to visit Robin, and I'm going to purchase the big chest recipe, because the chests I have back in the farm at the moment are almost full with just bits and bobs that I'm saving for future projects. I'm also going to purchase a ton of path recipes off Robin. I'm going to leave the lamp and the blazer recipes for now, but I can always come back later to get those. I got my gold pickaxe off Clint today. I'm now going to get in the process a ton of mystery boxes, regular geodes and omni geodes to see if I can get any goodies. A lot of those artifacts will now be given to Gunther, because we need to make some progress when it comes to getting into the stores, befriending Crobus and getting some of the goodies that will help our foraging farm. So we're doing floor 81 today in the mines, primarily to farm fibre. The next day it was raining, but look at all of these lovely summer forageables we get to collect. It's also worth noting that if we dehydrate the grapes, we get back raisins, and they sell for tons of money. And here's a super tip for you too if you made this far in the video. If you put raisins inside a Junimo hut, you're going to give your Junimos some extra perks, and I'm going to make a video about that very soon, and how you can abuse Junimos in this game after patch 1.6. Now, I made 81 tea saplings. I also made some big chests today as well, so I'm going to swap out my current chests with the big ones, and I don't have to take all my items out. I can literally just overwrite my small chests by putting the big chests over them. I'm also going to make more tappers, and I'm going to make tons of rustic plank floors. I'm also going to make stone walkways, so we're going to put some proper structure now on our foraging farm. We're going to make it look really good. Now, I do spend almost the whole day decorating up this farm, putting down paths, organising things, but it does pay off, because an organised farm is going to be a moneymaker farm. I'm also going to put down all of these tea saplings over here to the left hand side of the farm, because it's just a big empty space here at the moment. There is a lot of grass, but we can just get rid of that with our sword or our scythe. We're going to get more battery packs today. Look at all of the pine tar that we now get to collect. We also get to sell that for tons of money because there's just so much tar to collect. I'm also picking up our first batch of starfruit. I do get quite a lot of farming XP for that. Our farming skill is currently 9, so we're going to have that on 10 very soon indeed. Once we collect all of the pine tar, we're going to quickly visit Pierre here. We're going to purchase melon seeds. They take 12 days. Reason being, I just want to get my farming skill up to 10. The melons will surely do it. Leah was looking for a starfruit as part of a help wanted quest. The reward was magnificent. 2,250 gold. It also makes Leah happy, and it's one step closer to another prize ticket for us. So we're still on the grind to get as many prize tickets as possible to get those lovely star drop teas. Now I decided to put some mega bombs down on the ground here just to speed things up when it comes to hoeing, because I still only have the regular hoe. Sometimes it just makes life much easier if you have the space. Just put down some bombs and blow your farm to pieces. It'll save you tons of time hoeing up the ground. Today was the green rain day, and this is the only time we're going to get it in the whole year. So I spent the whole day accumulating as much moss, fibre and tree seeds as possible to make the most out of today. So what you see here now is basically what I do for the whole day. If I see weeds, I'm going to whack them straight away. I want to accumulate hundreds of moss. Moss is needed for the mushroom logs, so we can now start making those, so I'm super excited. You also need moss for a lot of the new items added 1.6, especially the Statue of Blessings that we get later on. One of, if not the best days in the whole year to focus on Forager's fill as well, because so many additional trees pop up and you can cut them down no problem. Because we have our gold axe, we can cut down trees with just a few swings, and as you can see, we just get another skill up there because we cut down a merciful amount of trees. We get Foraging level 9. I'm going to make 41 more tree fertilizers today. I'm also going to plant those 7 mossy seeds. There's a chance they can grow into 2 different types of trees. The first is a tree that can generate fiddlehead ferns if you tap it, and the second is a tree that generates lots of moss. I'm also going to make our first batch of mushroom logs. Only 20 for now, but you're going to see a lot more of these over the next couple of weeks. We will end up with hundreds upon hundreds of mushroom logs. I do have 60,000 gold. It is time to get another Georgia development project underway. We're going to go with the bridge this time for 25,000 gold, so we can access the quarry cave and all of the resources within. We're also going to go to Mayor Lewis's ticket machine. We now have enough prize tickets to get that lovely star drop tea. We will save that for an NPC's birthday because we can combine that with the loved gift for double the friendship points. It is absolutely amazing. I'm also picking up 4 quality sprinklers. They'll go a long way as well. Just 2 more prize tickets and we can get the Friendship 101 Book of Power, and that makes getting friendship points with NPCs a lot easier. So I gave Gus a ripe starfruit today, another almost 2300 gold in the bag. I'm also cutting down mahogany trees here. The reason why I'm cutting these down and regrowing these so much is because I need mahogany seeds to make those mystic tree seeds when we get the Foraging Mastery. To make a mystic tree seed, you need 5 of every seed in the game bar the mossy seeds, so it's quite expensive to make, but it's so worth it. Putting paths between all the trees is going to make life much easier for us to traverse these little mini forests and collect all of the items within. Not only can we put tappers on these trees, but eventually they will start generating moss and we can whack the trees with our sword and collect tons of moss every couple of days, so we can make even more mushroom logs, so we don't have to wait for another green rain event. So Morris just repaired the bridge there, thank you very much Morris. We're now on the 17th of summer and look at all these lovely foragers. I'm also whacking all the trees here to get even more moss, and if I do this every couple of days, I'll end up with thousands upon thousands of moss. It's also worth noting too that a mushroom log takes 4 days to produce mushrooms, but if we get a rainy day, that will shave 1 day off of the mushroom log timer. So we're going to get mushrooms a lot faster. I'm also making more tea saplings today, not to sell directly though. We are going to plant those down on our farm. We are going to end up with an absolute ton of tea leaves. Not by the end of this season, but by the end of fall, you're going to see the power of tea saplings. Of course, they're not as good as they were in the 1.5, but they're still quite profitable if you plant tons down on your farm. So I visited the Raccoon today. He's hungry, he needs fruit, and he also has a wife. Congratulations. He's just looking for the usual dehydrator goods and spice jelly goods as well, so we're going to have those very quickly. So I made some dried hot peppers here for him, and I'm also going to put something into the preserve jar as well to make a jelly. That'll be another quest done. Marcelo paid a visit to Stardew Valley today. We're going to get the woodcutters weekly and the mining monthly just to get some XP for the foraging and mining professions. We're also going to pay 15,000 gold and get Way of the Wind Part 1, and we're also going to pick up the price catalogue. Now I don't really need the price catalogue, I do have the UI info suite too. I got it just for the book collection because I do want to get as many book of powers that I possibly can in this playthrough. So I'm going to talk to the dwarf here now today. He has another book of power, which is extremely handy. It's going to minimize damage I take from bombs. It's called a Dwarvish Safety Manual, and I take 25% less damage from bombs. It is a real nice book of power to have, especially if you play like me and you like to use bombs all the time in the skull caverns. I also purchased the dwarf rarecrow as well. That'll make for a really nice decoration on the farm later on. So today I am going to the mid-level of the mines. I'm farming dust sprites for the monster eradication goal. I'm farming iron ore so I can make bombs. I also got my sweet gem berry today. I had that grown inside a garden pot inside my house for quite some time, so I can now bring that to the secret woods for a star drop. I'm also collecting coffee beans today, and I do eventually will put those into kegs, and I'll get back lots of coffee that I can turn into triple shot espressos. I'm also going to get tons of mushrooms here from the mushroom logs. Now as you can see, I'm mostly getting chanterelles. That is because most of my trees near the mushroom logs are pine trees, and the more pine trees you have, the higher odds you are of getting a chanterelle. I'm also going to get the dehydrator recipe, 10,000 gold. I'm going to make tons of these, and the dehydrator is a new 1.6 artisan item. It is absolutely amazing. Elliot a diamond, another quest complete, another prize ticket in the bank. So we're doing really well with daily quests in this playthrough. We're getting lots of money from them as well, lots of friendship points. I'm going to bring my sweet gem berry to the secret woods here now. We're going to speak to this statue, and that is another star drop in the bag for us. Our maximum energy has now been increased that little bit more. I'm going to make a few dehydrators today. I ran out of fire quartz, so I was only able to make 15. That is still quite a lot though. I'm going to fill these up with chanterelles and other mushrooms that my mushroom logs generate, and I'm going to get tons of money back for those. I'm also going to make lots of bombs because I want to prep myself for another skull cavern run. So I've got 28 bombs there ready to go. I'm also going to visit the quarry today. There's lots of resources here to get, lots of XP to be had. You can also farm coal here on a daily basis, which is really nice. So if you're struggling on coal, just visit the quarry. You will get it every single day, especially inside the quarry cave. There's areas over there to the right hand side that spawn coal nodes every single day for you. So it's definitely worth coming in here, especially farming those floaty skulls. There's a chance they can drop magic rock candies. You can also pick up the golden site here as well. Now this does not compare to the Iridium site that you get from the farming mastery, but it's still a nice site to have. It does give more range than the regular site, and it's just good all around for whacking those trees for boss. So I'm going to use some bombs now in the quarry, blow up all these stone ores trying to get some more XP. I'm getting dried chanterelles today and some dried common mushrooms, but look at what these dried chanterelles sell for. Crazy money. 1,225 gold for a dried chanterelle. That is why I've made so many pine trees, because of the amount of chanterelles we get from the mushroom logs. So foraging is now going to start bringing in some serious money. We also get another batch of summer forageables. We're going to pick up all these. That's going to get us tons of foraging XP. We're now going to talk to the raccoon. We're going to give him dried hot peppers, and we're going to give him some jelly, and that is another quest complete. As a reward, we get the new book of power, the Raccoon Journal, and this will give us the ability so that when we whack weeds, there's going to be a slightly higher chance that we're going to get items from weeds. And those items can be mixed seeds, they can be other goodies too, like hats and things like that. We're going to go into the secret woods too, and we're going to farm more hardwood. Just so you know, we go into the secret woods almost every single day to harvest those tree stumps to get the hardwood, because we need hardwood to make the mushroom logs. Now today was the Trout Derby. Now the prizes aren't great for the challenge that we're doing, so I just didn't bother doing the Trout Derby. I just spent the whole day cutting down trees. Our new foraging patch at the bottom left hand side of our farm is already. Look at all of these lovely forageables we get to harvest. We're going to get tons of foraging XP from this. We're also going to get hundreds of forageables. We're going to convert all those back into summer wild seeds. Look at the amount of wild seeds we get here, 730 in total. Now, those wild seeds do take a few days to mature, but we have enough time left in this season for one more batch, so we're going to replant all these back down, and we can harvest all those then towards the end of the season, no problem. We're going to the secret woods again. What I'm primarily looking for now though in the secret woods are mahogany seeds. It's worth noting that if you kill slimes in the secret woods, they have a chance of dropping mahogany seeds as well. We finally got level 10 farming. I chose the artisan perk, so now all of these dried goods are worth even more. The dried chanterelles are going for 1700 gold, which is ridiculous. What you're now going to see very soon is how overpowered the foraging skill tree actually is. If you use the mushroom logs, the dehydrators, the tappers, combine it with some of the farming perks such as artisan, you're going to see some serious cash flowing into this farm. We're going to go back to Morris. It's time for the final upgrade, which is panning. That's only 20,000 gold. We can now access Ginger Island and get our hands on all of the lovely resources over there. We just have to fix up Willy's boat first. We will need some resources for that. We'll need some Iridium bars, battery packs, and hardwood. Thankfully, we do have lots of hardwood from all the trees we've been growing on the farm and all of the visits we've made to the secret woods. We also got a skill up there in mining, which was great. Our mining skill is now maxed out, so we can now choose another very powerful perk that's going to bring even more money into the farm for us. It was also the dwarf's birthday today, so we gave him a topaz just to get some friendship points up with the dwarf. And here is a cool scene of Morris doing the last upgrade first in Stardew Valley, and then unlocks the ability to pan. So level 10 mining, we will take blacksmith metal bars worth 50% more. Let's just take a look at how much some of these dried goods are going for. Raisins, 840 gold. Dried chanterelles, 1700 gold. Even the common dried mushrooms, 450 gold isn't too bad. But with raisins and chanterelles, you can make some serious money, and it is very, very easy to amass those if you choose very specific setups, especially the chanterelles. If you just start spamming pine trees, you're going to have so much money you won't know what to do with it. So I went back to Clint today. We are going to upgrade our new pan we got off Willy to a steel pan. We're going to upgrade that all the way. We're back in Skull Caverns today, but not to get down far to get Iridium ores. We are in here to get combat XP. So we are on the hunt for enemies. All of these enemies give really nice XP. Of course, if we had very specific setups, we could mow down these enemies way faster, but we don't. Once we get the enchants though, life will be a lot easier. Level 8 and 9 combat were achieved today, so we get some nice HP upgrades. We can also make the Iridium band, which is a very nice ring upgrade indeed. Unfortunately, we do need 50 solar and void essence to make that Iridium band, along with some Iridium bars. So it will take some grinding to make it, but it is worth it, especially for early combat builds. That 10% attack, the magnetism, the light, it's 3 buffs in 1. It's a good ring all around. A lot of mahogany trees have grown today thanks to our tree fertilizers, so we're going to cut all these down, collect those mahogany seeds, collect up the hardwood. It'll all be put to good use. And here is a nice cutscene of Morris just showing his appreciation. He is going to give me a machine that generates 1 Joja Cola every day, and that machine is now much more valuable because the Joja Cola now gives you a buff. As of patch 1.6, it will give you a short little speed buff. Very handy if you need to get somewhere fast. I also gave Willy a catfish because it was his birthday. It's just more friendship points there for us. Back down into the Skull Cavern, we're grinding up our combat skill. I mean, it really is hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, because this all counts towards monster eradication goals as well. You get some real kick-ass rings from doing some of these monster eradication goals. So I'm going to make an Iridium band today. I slayed enough monsters to get the resources to make one. So that is an increase in my attack by 10%. My second ring isn't great, it's just a regular glow ring, so we do swap there eventually with something much better. It's also worth noting too that you're getting foraging XP every time you harvest a mushroom log. So if you feel like you're struggling at foraging, and if you're just sick of cutting down trees and pulling up forageables on the ground, just spam mushroom logs, because you get some really nice XP from harvesting some of the mushrooms on those. We're also going to use our dehydrators again today. We're going to convert all those chanterelles into dried chanterelles, bring on the money. We're also going to fix up the boat. 5 Iridium bars, 5 battery packs, and 200 pieces of hardwood, so we can now access Ginger Island every single day, no problem at all. We're also going to go back into the regular mines here as well. Reason for this, we were looking for gold because I want to make Iridium sprinklers. I also picked up a prismatic shard in the regular mines as well, which was incredibly lucky. I'm smelting more bars, copper bars especially, to make more tappers, and that's just a cool cutscene of Willy and Robin there fixing up the boat. We finally got level 10 foraging. We're going to get botanist. This is going to make item organization, especially for the forageables, way easier, because every time you pick up a foraging item now, it's going to be of Iridium quality. I'm also picking up some melons here as well. Now we've maxed out our farming, so we're not really going to do much with these melons. We're just going to sell them off. What you're going to see now going forward is that we're just going to plant a huge amount of forageables instead of farming goods. on our lovely cozy farm. We're going to go for another pan upgrade with Clint. Reason being, I want to test out the true potential of this pan. Because of the 1.6 update, the pan can now be upgraded all the way to Iridium, and you can pan up some amazing things in this game, including Lucky Ring. But even if you don't get Lucky Ring, you can still pan up bone fragments, you can pan up all manner of ores in great quantities, including Iridium ores. Additionally, the more your pan is upgraded, the higher chance you have of activating another panning node once you harvest the first one. This sets up chain panning, and I'm telling you right now, if you get lucky and you end up getting 4 or 5 panning spots within the space of a few minutes, it is extremely profitable. The pan is not to be underestimated. The next day, let's take a look at our new farm setup. What you see here is wheat, so I don't have to re-hoe the ground in fall. Wheat is really cheap and it doesn't expire when you transition from summer to fall, so it's a great crop just to retain all that valuable ground that you've hoed up. I'm also getting tons of Iridium quality spring forageables now. They're going to come in super handy later. So our raccoon friend wants a dried chanterelle and some cave carrots. It's a simple request. We've got cave carrots and we've got dried chanterelles to burn. I also got a quest to kill 10 red slimes there. So we're just going to take a stroll down into the regular versions of the mines here, and we're going to complete that quest no problem at all. Combat XP is still needed if we're going to get that mastery in foraging, so all those kill quests are worth it. I spoke to Mayor Lewis, who's very happy with our progress. For that quest we get 1,250 gold plus some friendship points with Lewis. So I'm going to sell all of these weapons now to Marlon because I'm never going to use them and they're just using up valuable space in my chests, and it's just a little bit of extra gold for me. I'm also going to spend 5,000 gold on a ruby ring. This will increase my attack power by 10%. So that combined with the Iridium band is a 20% increase in attack power, and you can see the difference right here. The numbers are much higher. When I attack enemies, they will die much faster. When we get level 10 combat, we can upgrade our attack even more, and that means the Skull Cavern becomes a lot easier. So we got 88 chanterelles today. We're also got lots of common mushrooms. We're going to put all those into the seed makers to make fall wild seeds. And this is the last harvest now of all of the summer forageables. All of these summer forageables will be converted back into summer wild seeds, but they will be used. We can use them at the greenhouse. We can also use them over at Ginger Island if we want, so there's lots of utility still left with those. I'm also going to keep a couple of the grapes so I can convert those into raisins because they sell for great money. I'm also going to buy more wheat off Pierre just to make sure I don't have to re-hoe the ground. Cut down all these mahogany trees, and I have some fiddlehead fern trees there too from the mossy seeds. We'll tap those very soon. I spent a great deal of day today reorganising the farm. I also decided to get rid of the fruit tree I had up here, and I'm just going to put it inside the greenhouse. It will have to regrow, it does take quite some time, but I don't really need the fruit right now, and I just think it'll be better in the future to have all of the fruit trees just in one place inside the greenhouse. I made some kegs today, but I didn't really make kegs for the purpose of wine. I just made kegs for the purposes of general utility. So I can put coffee beans in here to make coffee, upgrade them to triple shot espressos for example. So we're now finished summer. If you've made it this far in the video, which just hit that subscribe button for me. I only have 20,000 subscribers at the moment, and I must have made at least 50 of these 100-day videos. Some of them take months to make. So if you're still watching and you enjoy my content, just consider hitting the subscribe button. It's free and it really helps me out. Back to the challenge. Look at all these lovely dried chanterelles. We're now in fall. I'm going to make a little batch here now on the farm for more tree saplings, because I want to show you how potent these actually can be if you just put tons of them on your farm. Of course, you can throw in the argument that you can put valuable crops down there instead, but you don't have to play the game using crops. I just want to show people that with the 1.6 you can play this game whatever way you want with all of the new additions. Linus was looking for an emerald. Why that man wants an emerald I don't know, but he was offering up a price ticket. I wasn't asking any more questions. Because I had slayed over 1,000 monsters, I was able to access the back room here in the Adventurers Guild for the Mapping Cave Systems Book of Power. This would give us a 50% discount on Marlon's item recovery service, which is absolutely amazing. It is real handy if you need Marlon to recover essential items if you die in the regular mines or Skull Cavern. It's always nice to get a big discount on that. Back into the regular mines today. We're just wiping out slimes. We're trying to get our combat skill up to 10. We're very close, and this is the kill that does it. We now have all of our skills maxed out. We can now go for the first skill in Mastery. The great thing about Mastery is that you gain Mastery XP by doing any of the above professions. Now we're going to take Brute. 15% more damage is a no-brainer for us right there. We're going to convert these coffee beans into coffee, and then we can convert those into triple shot espresso. Harvesting all this wheat will also count towards Mastery because it's farming XP. So farming, mining, foraging, fishing and combat will all go towards our Mastery meter. It's also worth noting that every time we get a Mastery level, more XP will be required to get future levels. I'm going to buy some lava eel bait today. I'm also going to treat myself to a trap bobber. I'm also going to get some iridium rod. It's just in case if some help wanted quests pop up and the fish are difficult, I'll have a proper setup to get the job done. Now I'm going to select Cave Patrol today. I want to kill some dust sprites. Clint does give a lot of gold for that, but also if we kill 500 dust sprites in total, we're going to get the burglar ring, and that ring is absolutely amazing. I pulled up a sandfish today, gold quality. We're going to give it to Penny because it was her birthday. That pushed her straight up into the yellow for us, which was really nice. Her dialogue is really nice because she gets upset because she never gets loved gifts. Just goes to show how shitty Pam is to her as a mother. Today we are collecting raisins. As you can see in the bottom left, the background is blue. That means an item is worth over 500 gold, if you're ever wondering that. These raisins are worth over 800 gold a pop, so we are going to get tons of money from those. I'm also going to site away all of this wheat to make room for even more fall forageables. You are going to see thousands of fall forageables in this season. We're really going to up the ante now with the foraging. We're going all in. I also visited the Georgia Mart and I decided to purchase some pumpkins. And the reason why I'm purchasing pumpkins is because I want to get my master skill up as quickly as possible, and pumpkins are a great way to do it. I didn't have enough fall seeds to fill the whole farm up with forageables, so I'm just going to use pumpkins for now to get more XP. Those pumpkins can also mutate, so it can make for some great decorations down the road. So Shane was looking for the topaz. I obliged, of course. It was more friendship points for us. And this is just some footage of me whacking the trees. I do this every couple of days, just so you know. It's a great way to accumulate moss to make more mushroom logs. That's what we're going to do right now. 18 more mushroom logs. We're going to put those down. That's even more money for us. The next day we are harvesting even more mushrooms. We get the odd purple mushroom there as well, which is nice. But we want the chanterelles to make the big money. We're getting even more fall seeds today from the common mushrooms. We're going to pay Willie 1000 gold, and he is going to give us a nice lift over to Ginger Island. Ginger Island is full of mystery. It is also full of valuable resources, and I know exactly where to go to get all those resources because I've been over here so many times. I know this island like the back of my hand. Very subtle changes were made to Ginger Island with the 1.6 update, especially when it comes to the archaeology side quests that you do for Professor Snail. But for now, I just want to get enough golden walnuts assembled so I can move into my farm and I can sleep here, wake up the next day and start farming this island for real. There's golden walnuts littered all over this place. You have to hold them up, fish them up, you have to use combat, you can farm them up. Every single profession we have can be used to get golden walnuts. There's a total of 130 golden walnuts we can collect. We just need 100 to get access to Key's secret walnut room. From there, we can take on the challenging Key quests, but we get some pretty decent rewards as a result of that. For now, we're just focusing on getting 20 here so we can fix up the house and sleep in it. If we kill all of the tiger slimes here, they will drop a golden walnut, which is really nice. A lot of players seem to have trouble finding that one. All of the location of golden walnuts between patch 1.5 and 1.6 remain the same. The only big difference is the snake vertebrae used to be infamously difficult to get. It's now simple to get. If you just mine open the rocks on your farm there, you'll pull it up no problem at all. This makes Professor Snail's archaeology side quest way easier to do. You can do it way faster. I'm also going to get rid of all of the debris on my farm here just to make room for forageables and other goodies that we can plant. The Ginger Island farm works the exact same way as a greenhouse. You can plant anything you want on the farm regardless of season, it won't expire. Also, there's no crows on Ginger Island. The parrots have eradicated them, we should say. So you don't need any scarecrows or rare crows to defend your crops. We will be going into the Volcano dungeon a lot to farm cinder shards and other goodies so we can enchant our weapons to make farming a lot more accessible. You can also get some really good minerals inside here as well, along with some really good weapons and boots that you can't get in the base game. Now when we reach floor 5, we do come across another dwarf. He sells a book of power called the Diamond Hunter. All regular nodes have a chance to drop a diamond if you hit them with a pickaxe. I need 10 diamonds to get that, so I will save up for that. Try to get it as quickly as possible. He also sells bombs, but more importantly, the recipes for the ginger ale, which will substitute the triple shot espresso. It gives you a +1 luck. If you cook it up with a key seasoning, it's a +2 luck. It's absolutely incredible. And it also gives you the recipe for the warp totems, so you can warp on over to Ginger Island anytime you wish. So there's tons of golden walnuts we can get in this volcano dungeon. 5 from mining, 5 from combat. We can get a few from the chests. You can also get 5 from those dwarven caches that you can break open. So we need all those golden walnuts if we are to get into Key's secret walnut room and start doing his quests. The elite chest is always on floor number 9. Unfortunately, we only got some turret tubers from that. When we get up to the summit though, we get a free prismatic shard. Now that is the only free shard we will get, so for the first enchant we're going to try it out on our weapon. I was hoping for Crusader, unfortunately I got Bug Killer. It's not the end of the world. Extra damage against bugs. Also, it one-shots the invincible bugs in the cavern, so it's alright. Crusader in my opinion is way better because of the ghosts and the mummies that can just eradicate those so fast. We did free Professor Snail today. This will activate his archaeology side quest, and that's quite easy to do if you know where to go, if you know where to look. And I know where every single one of these artifacts are located, so it's going to be a nice, handy dandy, huge array of golden walnuts for us, one step closer to Key's secret walnut room. I went back to the regular farm today. It was time to harvest all of our lovely summer forageables. We will convert these back into wild seeds. The rest, though, we can put into our dehydrators to make even more money. Eventually, I might upgrade those quality sprinklers to Iridium sprinklers to make more space. It was another beautiful day in our lovely cozy foraging farm. We got more chanterelles. We're also going to complete a quest here too for Evelyn. She's looking for a wild plum. We had hundreds to spare. Another prize ticket in the bag. We had 3 prize tickets in total. That is enough to get the next book of power, which is called The Friendship 101. And what an amazing book it is. You become friends a little bit faster with people. So this is going to come in real handy now for pushing up those friendship points in the future. We're also going to go to Robin. We're going to pay 10,000 gold, 450 pieces of wood, and upgrade our house to the next tier. This will give us the ability to cook. We also receive an Iridium pan off Clint, but we're not going to stop there. We're now going to hand in the watering can just to get that upgraded a little bit to make our Volcano dungeon runs a little bit easier. With the Iridium pan, we can now pan up some really good stuff. We just got lots of gold ores and omnigeodes there from that one panning spot. Lots of mahogany trees have now regrown back in our farm. We're going to chop them all down, collect those mahogany seeds, and we're going to get tons of hardwood. We're getting dried spice berries today, so what I'm doing here now is I'm experimenting with different items to see what's profitable and what isn't. 875 gold for spice berries, which is absolutely amazing. Marcelo has visited the valley again, so we're going to buy more skill books to see if we can get that mastery tier. We're also going to purchase Way Up the Wind Part 2, which is a further increase to our movement speed. We're going to get the All Stellar Legs Book of Power as well. That means our character will run faster if we're going through crops or any sort of grass debris. The faster our character can move, the more we can get done in a day. It also makes combat a little bit easier as well. So we have a lot of books of power assembled out at the moment. There's just a few left to get. So we're back in the mines today and we're wiping out dust sprites. We're also collecting iron ores, we're also killing slimes just to get those monster eradication goals done. The main reason we're down here though is to just kill dust sprites just to complete some additional quests. We're also getting lots of combat XP. Despite the fact that these enemies are quite easy to kill, they do drop some decent XP. The Cave Patrol quest gives us 6,000 gold from Clint, which is really nice. He also gives us a recipe called the Geode Crusher, and this has been updated in 1.6. It no longer requires coal, making the Geode Crusher a little bit more lucrative. So we get our lovely watering can back off Clint. We're now going to upgrade our axe to an Iridium axe. This means it'll only take 3 swings to fully destroy a tree, including its stump. A curious substance was on the community quest board this week. We have to go find an extremely rare resource known as an ectoplasm. Now, it took me a good few days to get this. The ghosts were just not dropping it for me. Despite the fact that I did go into this cave sometimes on good luck days, it just wasn't happening. I do eventually get the drop, but it took a lot of ghost kills to get. Going forward, I think if I did that quest, it might be working related to Skull Cavern. I believe the carbon ghosts have a higher drop rate. We're now on the 9th of fall. Look at all these lovely fall forageables. There are thousands to pick up, and all of these forageables are of Iridium quality, so it's only going to take up at max 4 inventory slots. We also get the first level in Mastery, so we can now enter the Mastery Cave, and we can finally unlock the Foraging Mastery and the powerful perks it comes with. You'll also notice that some of the sprinklers are a little bit off on the farm. I do fix that later on in the challenge. I also make more tea saplings, and I'm just going to put them down here in the middle patch. The farm is now coming on really nice. So we're back in the mines today looking for this ectoplasm off the ghost. I'm hoping to get it today so I can finish off this quest. The reward will be worth it for doing this quest. The wizard will give us some really cool mini warp obelisks. Harvey is looking for a frozen tear. I had those from doing the mid-levels of the mines, so you can pick them up a lot. I get my Iridium axe back today off Clint, so we're going to go all in, and then we're going to now finalise the pickaxe. That will upgrade in just a few days, and with that Iridium pickaxe we can one-shot nodes in the Skull Cavern. We're also visiting the Quarry today, and we're just going to cut down trees and mine open any of the rocks that are around. The Raccoon is thirsty. He's looking for the broccoli juice and a pickled bok choy. It'll be easy enough to get. It doesn't have to be broccoli juice, it can be any sort of juice, and for the pickled bok choy it can be any sort of pickled good, which is absolutely amazing. So we're going to visit the Master Cave today. We have 5 professions to choose from, but because this is a foraging challenge, the first mastery will be the Foraging Mastery. We're now going to find golden mystery boxes which contain superior items. We can now make mystic tree seeds. We can tap those, we can get mystic syrup, and we can use that mystic syrup if we want to make those really cool treasure totems. And those totems are really good for finding artifacts all over Stardew Valley. Now, to make a mystic tree seed, we do need 5 of each seed, so it's quite expensive. We also picked up the Woody Secret Book of Power. This means that felled trees have a 5% chance to drop double the wood, which is absolutely amazing, and that buff can stack with other perks such as the Foraging perk, which makes it really good. So it's now blackberry season, and all of these blackberries can be dehydrated and the profits are really good. We also get some little pieces of XP every time we harvest a blackberry bush as well. So we're just going to go back into the secret woods as well and get even more hardwood so we can make more mushroom logs. So we're now filling up the rest of our farm with fall seeds. What you're going to see now in the next few days is an absolute huge amount of forageables. Our little farming patch down here on the bottom left hand side of the farm, we're going to get rid of all of the hay and the wheat here, and we're going to fill this up with more forageables as well. So we are going to get absolutely mountain loads of forageables by the time we're finished. So I managed to make just 3 mystic tree seeds today. What's letting me down here are the mahogany seeds. Now I do have a lot of mahogany seeds in the ground. They will grow in the next few days to be full-fledged mahogany trees, so we'll be able to cut those down and make even more mystic tree seeds as time progresses. So we're back down in the regular mines today. We're still looking for that ectoplasm. The ghosts have yet to drop one. Not to worry though, we will get one eventually, and we can hand that into the wizard, no problem at all. Eventually we do get one, we hand it in, and now we're going to get some pretty good money. We're also going to get a really nice recipe the next day that we will use. 2500 gold in the bag. We're also getting dried blackberries here. This is just an experiment. These don't sell for that much, but you're still making a profit. You're guaranteed to make a profit with the dehydrator, regardless of what you put into it. So I made 2 mini obelisks today, and this is just going to make for a more accessible farm, so we can warp from the front of our farmhouse right down to the south of the farm if we want quick access to Marnie's Ranch or other places, like Cindersap Forest. I also picked up the basket there for Linus just to get more friendship points, and I started the quest for Mr. Key to get into his casino. I also picked up a prize ticket there by doing the quest for the wizard, and I visited Clint as well. I picked up my Iridium pickaxe. I went back to Clint now, and I'm going to give him the hoe to upgrade to a copper hoe. It's just going to make life a little bit easier for future farming patches. I also made some more bombs today just to get those ready for future Scott Cavern runs. I gave Linus his birdie basket, he was really happy with that. It's just more friendship points with Linus. I also gave him a gift just to get some additional friendship points. I spent almost the whole day on Ginger Island just panning up spots in the hopes to get a lucky ring, but I didn't get one today. Now, if I took extra love buffs, it would have increased my odds of getting one, but I just didn't want to use up my spicy eels at the moment. It was still a good day of resource gathering though, using the Iridium pan. The next day is just the usual gathering of tons of chanterelles. I have a second batch of mushroom logs here between the oak trees and the maple trees, so they're generating extra mushrooms as well. Now there's nothing I can do with the red mushrooms, but the more trees I place down, the more I can manipulate what those mushroom logs will generate. So I'm just going to give in some pickled and juiced goods to the raccoon here. This completes his quest. 5 fairy dust is really nice, especially if you want an artisan equipment to finish something straight away. So it's always good to get early fairy dust. So it was Abigail's birthday today, and I gave her an amethyst and she was super happy with that. But I was meant to give her the star drop tea as well, so I had to go back to the farm, get the star drop tea, and then go back into Pierre's and give her that item just to get her up to 7 out of 8 hearts. We're actually going to marry Abigail in this challenge, and we're only marrying her because we just picked up the star drop tea and she was the next birthday to happen, so way, good luck to you, Abigail. She's going to move into the farm in no time. We also finished off at Professor Snail's archaeology quests because Clint broke open the last archaeology fossil for us, and we're just doing the island survey reports as well. If you're not too sure on what the survey reports are, the results remain the same regardless of how many times you set up a new file, so just Google the results if you don't want to count the number of, flowers or the number of starfish on the island. So we now have tons of golden walnuts. We're very close to getting into Key's secret walnut room. Anytime I see panning spots on Ginger Island I go from, that one was really good. 11 iridium ore, some omni geodes and some rubies. I got some gold ore off that one. It's just another day of just panning, because I really wanted a lucky ring, but it just wasn't happening for me. I thought from that one for sure because I got the diamond, but no, it wasn't meant to be. I got lots of fossilized tails. You can throw those into the bone mills and you can get back some great things, such as fertilizers, tree fertilizers, crop fertilizers, speed grows, things like that. I needed to boost Robin up to 6 hearts so she would teach me the drum block and the flute block recipes, so I purchased some spaghetti off Gus there, as that's a loved gift for Robin. I'm also back in the greenhouse on our regular farm, and there's tons of summer forageables I get to pick up here. I'm going to reconvert all those back into regular forageables now. We can give an NPC a maximum of 2 gifts per week, so if we keep giving Robin the spaghettis, if we do quests that help Robin, we can very quickly get her friendship points up to 6 hearts in no time at all. We also have Robin's birthday coming up, so we will get bonus friendship points from that event also. So we are going to cut down a lot more trees today in Cindersap Forest, and a lot more trees have grown back. We're also going to go back into Secret Woods and we're going to get even more hardwood. All of this grinding will pay off eventually, especially when you see the amount of mushroom logs we are going to end up with on the farm towards the end of this challenge. If I see panning spots, I will of course grab them, so I do walk around everywhere now with the Iridium pan. Treasure troves, iron ores, gold ores, even Iridium ores are all up for grabs. We are getting close to level 2 mastery. When that is achieved, we will select farming. We will be getting ourselves the Statue of Blessings and the Iridium Scythe and some other goodies. But if we want to make the Statue of Blessings, we will need an absurd amount of moss and other basic resources. So it's worth whacking those trees every couple of days and accumulating as much moss as possible. All of this extra hardwood right now is going to go into more mushroom logs, 24 in total. So we're going to plant those mushroom logs just down here by our little miniature lake. It's going to look really nice when it's finished, because we're also going to plant some trees around that as well. And we also have our mini obelisk set up, so we can teleport right down here in the morning time and collect those mushrooms, no problem at all. It is also worth noting that you can get panning spots down here as well, and because we have the Iridium pan, there's a good chance we can chain up anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 panning spots within the space of a few seconds. It is now the 16th, it's time for the big Stardew Valley Fair. Before we go into the event and claim our star drop though, let's take a look at all of the forageables. Let's take a look at all of these pumpkins that are ready to be harvested. Because we're using Iridium sprinklers, we even got some mutated pumpkins which look absolutely amazing, and because they're mutated, they cannot be destroyed. You can only use an axe to actually destroy them yourself, so you can't actually pull them up out of the ground by accident, and it doesn't matter what season it is, you won't actually lose a mutated crop. So we use a vast array of Iridium quality forageables and we get a really good rating of 93. We're going to gamble all of our star tokens and we are going to get the star drop of the Stardew Valley Fair. We're also going to pick up the rare crow and we're also going to pick up the prize ticket as well. With the release of patch 1.6 you can now get prize tickets at a lot of the events, which makes these events worth going to. So let's have a look at the community quest board. We have island ingredients, 100 pineapples, but because we want more friendship points with Robin so we can learn the drum block and the flute block, we're going to take Robin's project and assemble 80 hardwood for her. That shouldn't be too much of an issue considering that lots of mahogany trees also grow on Ginger Island. Willie wanted a Joja Cola, we obliged of course. Because our melon now is fully ripe and because our wheat is ready, we're going to get 5 golden walnuts from the frog for each type of crop we have on the farm. If we had the garlic crop, we could have got 5 additional golden walnuts, but I wasn't lucky enough to get those inside Skull Cavern. It is a year 2 crop after all. I went back to Clint, I picked up my copper hoe. We can now go back to Ginger Island and get a few more golden walnuts. We're now very close to getting 100, so we can get into Key's secret walnut room. I also went inside the Pirates Cove area here, which is a sneaky little golden walnut just hidden right down the bottom right hand corner. There's also tons of trees we can cut down in Ginger Island, including lots of mahogany trees for additional hardwood that would help us with the Robin's Project community quest. Once all of these trees have been wiped out, we're going to unlock the Ginger Island trader. We can get some amazing things from that trader, especially towards the end of the season. We can even get radioactive bars. Now we have reached level 2 mastery, so we're going to go ahead now and get the farming mastery, the Iridium scythe, statue of blessings, and we can even find golden animal crackers, which doubles a farm animal's produce. Doesn't work on pigs of course, because they're still way overpowered. That perk won't really matter to us because we're not using animals, but the Iridium scythe is a game changer because that will work on forageables. It was Marnie's birthday, so I gave her a diamond just to get some extra friendship points. Because I had 3 hearts now with Marnie, I think you just need more than 2. We can enter her room, pick up Mayor Lewis's lucky purple shorts. But I also popped the staircase in Mayor Lewis's house to get the secret lucky purple shorts. I just wanted to see, would he take the 2 pairs of shorts off you, or would he just take 1 pair of shorts? Now it's worth noting that when you take the hidden pair of shorts, some sort of short NPC enemy will attack you. You can parry this enemy no problem, but if it does hit you, it will take a ton of HP off you, so just be very careful. I found Mayor Lewis working super hard on Ginger Island, as if give him the lucky shorts. Quest complete, which was nice. That was 750 gold in the bag. I tried to give him the 2nd pair of shorts, but it said wrong person. So I'm wondering now, did Concerned Abe add any more secrets to the game? Is there something else we can do with these lucky shorts, except put them into a sewing machine or try to put them onto your character? It's now Thursday, so we're going to get the magic rock candy, which is really nice. We can use that now for a future Skull Cavern run. The next day we're cutting down more mahogany trees. We need all the mahogany seeds we can get so we can make more mystic tree seeds. I also accumulated 80 hardwood for Robin, so we're going to complete that quest. 2,000 gold in the bag right there, and that's more friendship points for Robin. I tried giving her a spaghetti, but I already gave her 2 gifts this week, so I'm going to have to wait for her birthday, which is going to happen very soon, and that should bring us straight up to 6 hearts. I was doing the Gembird puzzle on Ginger Island, so this is the South Gembird, which drops the Amethyst. My advice, once you have obtained 2 gems, just guess the last 2, because you can only put a total of 5 gems into those pedestals, and it's a nice handy dandy 5 golden walnuts in your pocket. The Iridium scythe is super handy for harvesting crops and for harvesting forageables. It is going to save us a ton of time for future harvests. I went back into the volcano in the attempts to get the last few golden walnuts needed to enter Key's secret walnut room. I got super lucky and managed to get 2 out of some dwarven caches, so we can now enter Key's secret walnut room. I got a super rare floor as well. This is called a mushroom floor, but these floors can be quite hazardous, as sometimes the mushrooms are actual enemies, and if you get close they will attack you, so be careful. You can farm the Ginger Island Volcano dungeon every single day. It is a fabulous place to go for combat XP, mining and all manner of resources. Now you won't find a whole lot of Iridium here, but what you will find is a ton of stone, and you could find a lot of coal as well, so it's worth going to if you're looking for specific gear or just specific resources in general. It was Robin's birthday today. We gave her a spaghetti. We got her friendship up to 6 hearts, so this unlocks the cutscene where Robin will teach us the drum block and the flute block. We can make lots of flute blocks in, bring it over to Ginger Island, and we can get 5 more golden walnuts on a rainy day from the mermaid that pops up on the beach. We gave the raccoon there some sea urchins and some other bits and bobs, and we got a jungle tank back as a reward, which was really nice. And because we've unlocked the jungle tank, we can now purchase it off his wife. All we have to give is just some trash items, and we can get as many jungle tanks as we want. The raccoon's wife sells some awesome items altogether. Because I had over 500,000 gold, it was time to get the cinema set up in Stardew Valley, so we're going to give good old Morris here 500,000 gold to get that project done. We're now going to visit the desert trader because it's Sunday. We are going to trade in all of our hard-earned jades for staircases. Now, I didn't have a whole lot of jades at the time, only 20, because I'm not really focusing on dungeon runs or mining runs or crystallariums, but those 20 staircases will come in super handy. For the rest of the day, I'm just going to farm floor 81 for fibre and other bits and bobs. And here is a super cool cutscene of our lovely Morris that's going to put a lovely cinema into Stardew Valley for us. The next day we're doing this cavern run. We get some good luck, get some prismatic shards. The red slime egg can be sold for quite a lot of money. I also get lots of iridium ores that I can turn into iridium bars to make some pretty cool items. Any additional prismatic shards I pick up, I can trade those in for magic rock candies. I can also keep a few as well for some tool enchants in the future. So today I made it down past floor 100. When I got down to floor 100, I got cinder shards inside the treasure chest. I never actually got cinder shards before, so I just thought I'd show that because I thought it was quite rare to get cinder shards in one of those chests. I've gotten many things in these treasure chests, but never cinder shards. But those cinder shards will come in real handy later on because we need those for enchantments. At the end of the day, we came out with 4 prismatic shards, 327 iridium ores and other goodies. We got some slime eggs there as well. We got lots of iron ores so we can make more bombs. We got a dinosaur egg. We got lots of artifacts we can give to Gunther. All in all, it was a very good Skull Cavern run. The next day, we are using our fabulous Iridium site to quickly pick up all of these forages. We're going to have this done in no time at all, thanks to the power of the farming mastery Iridium site. We're also getting lots of common mushrooms down here by our little mini lake. We're also getting lots of red mushrooms as well, and some purple mushrooms. They can all be dehydrated, bar the red ones, and we can get some serious profits from those. We also have the final harvest here on the bottom left hand side of our farm, where we get even more forageables. And we now get to harvest our lovely tea saplings. Look at all of these tea leaves we get to accumulate. Now it's worth noting that if we were to put all these into preserve jars, we would get a lot more money, but we're not going to use up the resources. We're just going to sell the tea leaves as they are, and we're going to get lots of money from those because we have so many. And we get to harvest those tea saplings every single day, each season on the final week. So you're going to end up with thousands upon thousands of tea leaves. It's nice passive money, and that's what you want when you play a game like this. You just want to be able to go away, explore, and let your farm do all the work. So most of our money makers are passive, which is really nice. With all of the seeds we have now, we can make thousands upon thousands of more forageables. We can even move a lot of these seeds off to Ginger Island if we want, because it doesn't matter what season it is over there, we can plant any sort of forageables we like. Let's take a look at the community quest board for this week. We have fragments of the past. It would be nice to get a bone mill, so we will take Gunther up on his request there and try to collect 100 bone fragments, and that is quite simple to do if you have access to Ginger Island. You just have to go to the dig site here every couple of days, and you can harvest all of those lovely bone nodes to get tons of bone fragments. If you're lucky, you can even pan them up out of the water. I just got some iridium ore there, but you can pan up tons of bone fragments as well. I just got 12 extra bone fragments there, and that also counts towards the quest. So there's a nice little tip for you as well. You don't actually have to go into the mines and fight skeletons if you don't want to. You can just head on over to Ginger Island instead. It was George's birthday. I gave him an iridium quality leak. I got tons of friendship points with George, straight up to 5 out of 10 hearts. I got Clint to break open some golden mystery boxes here to see if I can get some superior items like the box says. I didn't get super lucky today, but you can get some pretty crazy things from those boxes, including magic rock candies. I did get a mining skill book, which gives 250 skill XP, so it was nice to get that. All of the artifacts now and minerals are going towards Gunther. I do want to get into the sewers as quickly as possible so I can make friends with Krobus, purchase all of his cool wares. I have tons of Omni Geodes here now that I got doing Skull Cavern runs. We're going to break open all those, and we're going to hand them into Gunther as well to see if we can get that key to the sewers. Another day means another tea leaf harvest. It's just so satisfying to run along and harvest all of these fabulous tea leaves. I could have used the Iridium scythe, but it's just something about spamming the OK button when you're passing all those lovely tea leaves to just collect them all up. I did get a whole upgrade off Clint, which is really nice. We're going to go back to Ginger Island. That is the East Gem Bird, which dropped a topaz. So because I had 2 gems out of the 4, I just guessed the final 2 combinations, and I got 5 more golden walnuts, no problem at all. I also put down some fuel blocks and I completed the mermaid puzzle, which is quite easy to do. That was 5 more golden walnuts on top of that. Because it was Thursday, I went back to the desert. I purchased another magic rock candy, and I'm also going to make some more tappers here now, and I put them on our mystic trees to get some mystic syrups, and those mystic syrups sell for really nice money. Eventually I will try to upgrade the tappers to heavy tappers because they produce syrups at a much faster rate. So it was time to go to the cinema with Abigail because I wanted to max out her hearts so that we can get married. I purchased a rock candy, which is her favourite treat, and we also went to see her favourite movie, which is Mysterium. So this would have been lots more friendship points to gain. The cinema worked out in our favour. We got Abigail to maximum friendship, which is 8 out of 8 hearts. We can now go to Pierre, purchase some flowers, and Abigail will become our girlfriend. All we have to do after that is get her to 10 hearts, and then we can get married. Our house has been upgraded as well, so she'll move in with us, no problem at all. I also went to the Halloween event and I purchased some recipes along with the witch rarecrow, and that make for a cool decoration on our farm. It's worth noting that you don't need scarecrows or rarecrows to protect your forageables, you only need them to protect crops, but they still make for some pretty good decorations. I picked up the golden pumpkin and I took the shortcut back to the entrance. The next day I got my steel hoe back off Clint. It was time to hand it straight back in again and upgrade it to the gold hoe. If all my tools are of Iridium quality, it's just going to make life way easier for us. A lot more time can be saved when it comes to putting down crops or putting down forageables in the future videos. If you've made it this far into the video, consider hitting the subscribe button. Also, just let me know if you want to see 200 days of the foraging challenge. So we completed fragments of the past, more money in our pocket, but more importantly, a cool recipe from Gunther the next day. We now have enough prize tickets to get yet another Star Drop tea, so we can use that to maximum effect if we use it on someone's birthday. So the raccoon wanted some bug meat and some sea urchins. We obliged, of course. The reward was a very nice book of stars, and this gives us an XP gain to all our professions. It is the perfect book to try and increase your mastery skills. All of our mahogany trees had now fully regrown again, and they also dropped some extra seeds. So we're going to get all of these seeds. We're going to make tons more mystic tree seeds. We're going to plant those down on our farm. We're also going to make a lot more, and we're going to bring them over to Ginger Island as well. It was the final day of fall. We have 1 month to go, so it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of a farm we end up with when we're finished with this foraging challenge. I decided to take up all of the tree saplings here and just make a big line of mystic trees instead. The first day of winter, I'm going to get rid of all my quality sprinklers. I had enough resources to make Iridium sprinklers, so we're going to put those down straight away. I'm also going to get the prismatic jelly quest here as well. Upon completion, I will get the monster musk. That makes monster eradication goes way easier to do because it greatly increases the spawn rate of monsters. I got Abigail up to maximum friendship, which was really nice, so we can now get married. Unfortunately, in winter, you don't get rainy days, but that won't stop us. You can actually activate a rain totem in winter, and if the next day isn't an event day, it will absolutely rain, which means we can still absolutely get married in winter. After almost a whole day of searching, we finally found the prismatic slime. We wiped that out, got the prismatic jelly. We can now take that back to the wizard for a real nice reward. So I also went to Clint. I'm going to pick up the gold hoe off Clint, but we're going to hand that straight back in because we have the funds, and we'll just upgrade it to the Iridium hoe. We're now going to go to the old marina here because I popped the rain totem yesterday, and I'm going to purchase the mermaid's pendant for 5,000 gold. I can now give this to Abigail, and we can get married in just a couple of days. The reason why you have to get married in this game for good progression is because your spouse will give you a star drop when you have accumulated a certain amount of friendship points. So we do absolutely want that star drop, and Abigail is going to be the lucky bride of this challenge. We're now going to pay the wizard a visit. We're going to give him the prismatic jelly, but while we're here, we're also going to give him a few extra gifts too, just for some extra friendship points. The wizard loves purple mushrooms, He also loves solar essences and void essences, so he's real easy to get loved gifts for, because if you go down to the mines, you're going to get your hands on tons of those. Back into the secret woods to farm even more hardwood. We get the monster musk the next day from the wizard, which was really nice, so I will end up making a few of those, and we'll do some monster eradication goals later. All of our fruit trees in the greenhouse are now ready to be harvested, so we've got tons of fruit there. We've got apples, peaches, oranges, cherries, apricots, and pomegranates. Everything we need to make things like fruit salads and everything else. So we're now going to put more fall seeds down in our greenhouse, and the greenhouse is really paying off in this challenge. It's always worth your time to get it earlier rather than later. That is the major advantage of going the Joja route. You can choose when to get your upgrades. I paid a visit to the desert today, primarily just to get all of the wood it had to offer, and I also picked up any cactus fruits or coconuts that I could find as well. And there was a lot of stuff here to get, which was good. After cutting out all of the trees in the desert, it was Linus's birthday, so I paid him a visit, gave him an Iridium quality coconut, and I got tons of friendship points with Linus. This is just a botanist perk all over again from the foraging skill. It is such an overpowered perk. We then played hide and seek with Krobus. We found him hiding behind a bush there. He is going to give us the magnifying glass, and this will allow us to get secret notes, and some of those secret notes will yield very potent items indeed. So we're fishing up squid today for the Help Wanted quest. It's been a while since we got a fishing quest to do for the Help Wanted. Demetrius, of course, wanted squid, so we done that for him, and that was more friendship points with Demetrius in the bag. Went back to Clint, and we finally got our Iridium hoe. All primary tools have now been fully upgraded, bar the watering can. But we can't forget about our trash can either. It's something I rarely upgrade. Back down to the beach today and just getting more forageables. Went over to the tide pool area. I'm looking for winter roots. I'm looking for snow yams because I need those to make more winter wild seeds, and I didn't have a whole lot of winter wild seeds at the moment. Now it is worth noting that you can put winter roots into the seed makers, similar to how you put common mushrooms in, and you can get back wild seeds that way for winter. But because we didn't go into the mines that much, we didn't have a whole lot of winter roots to play around with. Having the Iridium hoe was a game changer. We could hoe up huge amounts of ground within seconds. The next day started with a beautiful wedding. Myself and Abigail were now married. We could now start a family and live happily ever after. But first, she's going to have to cough up some star drops for me. Abigail now moved into the farm, but our honeymoon had to be cut short because we had to go off to Ginger Island and make sure this farm is up to scratch. At the moment it wasn't. I have more or less abandoned it. I've been focusing too much on the foraging farm. As a result, we were in winter and I still did not have access to Key's secret walnut room. I thought I had access when I got those few golden walnuts from doing the mermaid quest and the other ones in the volcano, but I was short 3, so I had to do a few more things to get those. I could have done the pirate minigame, the darts, and I will do that later on, but I could have also went back into the volcano dungeon, which I do right now, to try to get the last few remaining golden walnuts that are hiding inside here. I got another rare mushroom floor today. These enemy mushrooms are just adorable. They do hit hard though, so you have to watch out. When you kill them, they can drop magma caps, which is nice. I got another golden walnut and a rare ostrich egg inside one of the elite chests today. That was really nice. I also managed to get another golden walnut from a mussel node, which is quite rare. You can get up to 5 golden walnuts from those mussel nodes. It was time to enter Key's secret walnut room. We had a choice here of extended family and Key's hungry challenge. I decided to go with the hungry challenge, and we'll go back into Skull Cavern without using any sort of buffs or food items. Can we get down to floor 100? I also played the dart game here, and you can play it up to 3 times. Every time you win it gets harder. You get less darts to try to get enough points to win. I'd done that 3 times in a row, won it 3 times in a row. That was 3 additional walnuts I was up, which was really nice. Between the farming, the foraging, the combat and everything in between, I managed to gain another mastery level. This time I was going to take the mining mastery. The statue of the Dwarf King has some amazing perks along with the heavy furnace, and don't forget, gem bearing rocks can give twice the minerals, which is absolutely amazing. I decided to make 2 statues at once, the statue of blessings and the statue of the Dwarf King. It's worth noting now that there's no point making a second statue unless you want decorations. You can only get 1 statue perk per day from each of those statues. So for the Bomb King, we made ourselves impervious to bomb damage, which is going to come in really handy for Key's hungry challenge. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a luck buff, a combat buff, or even a speed buff off of the statue of blessings, but I got a fishing buff instead. I did have a few staircases, not enough to spam my way to floor 100, so I'm going to have to be really careful navigating the skull cavern here. Now the big giant slimes do have hearts inside them, so there is a way you can regain health, but they are quite rare to come across. So I had to use my staircases wisely. I also had to watch out going down holes, because if a hole goes deep, I will lose health. The holes cannot kill you, just so you know. If you have 1 HP and you go down a hole, even if you transcend it down 15 levels, the hole cannot actually make your character go unconscious. You would just remain at 1 HP. Now the mummies, the serpents, everything inside the skull caverns hits like an absolute truck. So I was now at a stage where my health was so low, if anything at all touched off me, I was going to go unconscious and the challenge would have been failed. Fortunately, there was a handful of slimes here with hearts inside them, so I took the risk and I tried to take them on. It was good that I had the perk from the statue of the Dwarf King, because technically I could have used my bombs to damage the slimes as well. I could have used hit and run tactics, but I just had to take a deep breath, take out my galaxy weapon and wipe those slimes from the face of the earth to get some health back. Any health I accumulated quickly evaporated thanks to the holes. I got down 8 levels there, put my HP right back to 1. I was on floor 70, I did have some staircases, I just needed a few more holes or lucky staircases to get down to floor 100 before my character met certain doom, so I had to be super careful when it came to combat. I had to watch out for all manner of enemies, especially Iridium crabs. I really had to watch out for those, so I had to be really careful on getting too close to any sort of Iridium nodes. Eventually I made it down to floor 100. My reward was nice key gems. I also got an Iridium sprinkler, which was nice too. When I got to floor 100, I didn't go home straight away. I decided to make the most of it. I took a ginger ale and a magic rock candy, and it turned out to be a really good skull cavern run. The next day was the Festival of Ice, so we pulled up some fishies, won first place. We got some cool stuff, a magnet, barbed hook, dress spinner, and a sailor's cap, which is a pretty good head item. I do prefer the straw hat myself, so I'm going to keep that on. It was time for another community quest, Robin's Resource Rush. She was looking for 100 pieces of stone. I prefer to do that rather than do a fishing quest for Demetrius, so I went with the Robin quest straight away. For Keys quests, we had Danger in the Deep. This will unlock the hardened versions of the mines for us. That means we can start farming up Radioactive ore as well and make some of the really good endgame items. For the perks, I went with additional geodes, and I also got a speed buff off the Statue of Blessings, so I went into the hardened versions of the mines with some really nice buffs. I also took some luck buffs as well, just so that these staircases would show themselves more often than not. The enemies in the hardened versions of the mines do hit quite hard, so we have to be careful. I made it down to the midsection here. I managed to get a coffee bean off of what I can only describe as an upgraded dust sprite. Coffee beans are still super rare, so it's always nice to get one from a dust sprite or any sort of a mushroom sprite. The next day we are continuing on with our Danger in the Deep quest. We're now down on the floor 80s. This means new enemy types. They're quite similar to that of their original forms, but they have more HP, they're a bit faster, and they do hit much harder, so we have to be super careful. But they can also drop some pretty amazing items, including pressure nozzles, galaxy souls, and other bits and pieces. They're also really good for combat XP as well. So this is the place we need to be, floor 120. Not only do we complete Danger in the Deep, we also complete Robin's Resource Rush, because we were detonating so much ores down in the mines. We managed to collect 1,000 stone, no problem at all. Because it's Thursday, we also go back to the desert to get the magic rock candy, and the next day we get a pretty nice harvest here of winter forageables, and we're going to put all these back into the farm by making more winter wild seeds. We've got 250 there in total, so that is going to rapidly multiply, and before you know it, especially when we get to the end of this challenge now in a few days, you're going to see this absolutely amazing farm filled up with cool winter forageables. So today we done the Squid Fest. We just needed 8 squid to get all the prizes. The big prize I wanted most of all was the Art of Crabbing Book of Power. It has a pretty decent chance that your crab pots will give you double loot, a 25% chance, which is really nice. That's one more Book of Power added to the collection. So now our raccoon friend was looking for a dried powder melon and a coconut jelly. Any sort of jelly item would do, and I do have powder melons grown on the farm, but I decided to trade in some pine cones and get even more powder melons. I really wanted to see some mutated powder melons before the challenge was finished, because it's just something I haven't experienced yet, and I already had some mutated pumpkins, so the powder melons would be a great addition to that. For the rest of the day, we just spend it planting those powder melons. I'm also taking up all of the regular furnaces. We're going to upgrade those to heavy furnaces. We just need the regular furnace, some iron bars, and some other bits and bobs, and these heavy furnaces are a game changer. These furnaces will take huge amounts of ore. We can burn through hundreds of ore, no problem with these, to get back tons of bars. I'm now up 40 Iridium bars. I can use those for upgrades, quality sprinklers, you name it, crystallariums. Those bars will be put to great use. We also did a quest here for Demetrius. He wanted a cactus fruit, so we just handed that over. We're also going to pick up the prize ticket there for completing that Robin's Resource community quest. And I'm going to go back to Mayor Lewis's ticket machine now. I'm going to get some more goodies here. The 5 diamonds is really nice, but in my experience, by the time you've reached that kind of, prize tier, you don't really need diamonds anymore because you're kind of in the end game when you're doing all those quests. I traded in most of my on the geodes for artifact troves. I really wanted to get the Book of Power that increases the price of artifacts because I wanted to add it to my collection. I got really lucky after several attempts breaking open these treasure troves. I finally got the treasure appraisal guide, and it is an absolutely magnificent Book of Power. We will now fetch better prices when selling artifacts. It basically doubles the prices of artifacts. So it's really nice to have, especially if you have an overabundance of artifacts. Gunther already has them. At least you'll get more bang now for your buck when you're selling those artifacts that you don't need anymore. Some of the strange dolls sell for crazy money. Some of them will now sell for 5,000 gold. There's a strange doll down here in the desert. It now sells for 3,000 gold from 1,500, which is absolutely amazing. We finally get the visit from Gunther the next day. He is going to give us the key to the sewers. We can finally get down to our good bro Krobus and purchase all of his really cool wares. We're also going to go to Robin, and it is time for us to get a stables. This just means we can get around the farm a little bit faster, but it's more of a decoration than anything else because we're at the end of the challenge. So we might as well max out all the tools, so we'll upgrade the watering can now again to a steel one. We'll pick up the community cleanup quest here for lions because fiber seeds are just so overpowered. If I do decide to do a 200-day challenge, the fiber seeds are going to come in super handy for that. 20,000 gold for a star drop off Krobus, that is absolutely worth it. Maximum energy has further been increased, which is nice. We're also going to go to the night markets here as well, and we're going to purchase one of the paintings here from Lupini. This one is the Red Eagle. The next day, it was primarily just fishing up trash. I also searched all of the trash cans because I had the Alleyway Buffet Book of Power. I did get some trash items from the trash cans, which was really nice, but most of the trash does come from fishing. What better place to fish? My own farm. Once all of the trash items had been collected, I just had to go up to the batters area, put 20 trash items in, and the quest was complete. The reward, it's always going to be 500 measly gold, but the real prize will come tomorrow when Linus teaches us the fiber seeds. It's absolutely amazing. With this, we can more or less have unlimited fiber. Our pet Fluffy Fish now loves us. We have taken great care of Fluffy Fish in this video. We've got his hearts up to max, so now Fluffy Fish will start to find items around the farm and gift us those items every couple of days. I'm also going to name our horse Tanisha, which is another GamerGuard channel member, so welcome to the GamerGuard members, Tanisha. Glad to have you here. Me and Tanisha are going to ride around Stardew Valley and explore all of the secrets it has to offer. But first we're going to go to Clint and get our watering can upgraded. Then we are going to go into the mutant bug lair and we're going to get that dark talisman just so we can get our hands on that lovely magical ink. It's just another item added to our collection, but it means we can also access the wizard's terminal if we want to get any juicy warp obelisks or anything like that. But first we have to go in here, fish up a void mayonnaise, which took quite some time actually. Concerned Ape has made this much more rare to get. The henchman will take that for us, and we can now access the witch's hut and get that lovely magical ink, give that to the wizard and access his terminal. And the wizard has some real nice stuff for us to access. All of the warp obelisks, the golden clock for example. It was time to pay a visit back over to Ginger Island. I made a huge amount of mystic trees over here and mushroom logs, and those mystic trees will eventually cover the entirety of the island. You're going to see some serious purple mushroom collection, but not in this video, perhaps in the next if people want to see a continuation. If you really want to see a continuation, just like the video. So I'm giving Abigail amethysts on a daily basis and giving her nice smooches before I leave the house just to accumulate more friendship points. Eventually she will hand over that star drop. We're going to give the gold watering can back to Clint. We'll upgrade it all the way now to the Iridium watering can. That'll be all of the primary tools upgraded in the game, bar the trash can of course. Now we're going into the hardened versions of the mines with some luck buffs. I'm going to spam the first floor over and over again to farm radioactive ores. I didn't get a whole lot of ores today, so we're going to go back to the house. We're going to get some buffs, +1 luck and +1 additional ore per vein, back into the hardened versions of the mines, and now we're getting a lot more radioactive ore. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn it into radioactive bars, and then we can start making some heavy tappers, and we are going to make way more money when we have heavy tappers on all those trees. So I got some fried mushrooms off Abigail today. That's actually a pretty nice buff food. Does give some pretty good stats. Let's take a look at all of our winter forageables so far. There's quite a lot of winter forageables. We also have some mutated powder melons as well, which is really nice. I won't harvest the rest of the powder melons because there's a chance a lot of those may also mutate. It just means for some extra decorations before the challenge is over. I will however use the Iridium site and I'll pull up all of these winter forageables because there is enough time in winter to put down a whole new batch before we go into year 2 of January. So I've made over 500 winter forageables now. We're going to plant all these back down on the farm. It is going to look absolutely amazing towards the end of the challenge. I'm also going to put some winter forageables down in the bottom left hand side of the farm as well, where we have most of our tea saplings planted. So I got my dried powder melon today. I can now finish off that raccoon quest. Let's see what kind of gifts I'm going to get. So let's take Tanisha right down to the raccoon family and hand in the items. We've got the dried powder melons, and I also had a cactus fruit jelly as well. The reward was 25 card seeds. I could either put those over in Ginger Island, put them in the greenhouse, or wait until spring year 2 to grow them up. I also got my Iridium watering can, so I decided to now start upgrading my trash can. And an upgraded trash can is actually a pretty nice item to have. I also gave Haley an emerald for the prize ticket because I keep doing the help wanted quests. The more prize tickets the better. Look at all of the mushrooms we're going to get over here. As you can see, there's more purple mushrooms than any other type, especially the mushroom now closest to the mystic trees. That's because the more mystic trees we have, the more purple mushrooms we are going to get. I've got 77 key gems, so I'm going to purchase the recipe for the heavy tapper. To make heavy tappers, I need hardwood and radioactive bars. Now I have been accumulating radioactive bars, so I should be able to make a good few heavy tappers. I'm also going to get the key to the town. That means I can enter any building I want regardless of time. And for the rest, I'm going to pick up some mushroom tree seeds. We can also tap those, and they're going to generate mushrooms every couple of days as well. So it's going to be a great addition to our foraging farm. Now we're not really going to get to see that in action in the first year, but I know I sound like a broken record player. If you really want to see a continuation, you need to put it into the comments. The more comments I see about it, the higher chance there is that I'll actually do a continuation video on this. So we're now on the final stretch of the challenge. We're on the 22nd. Let's start by picking up all of these dried purple mushrooms. These sell for huge amounts of money. We're going to go back into our greenhouse. It looks amazing. We've now got bananas in here as well. We've also got mango. The time had finally arrived. I gave Abigail another amethyst today, and I then met the threshold for her to give me a star drop. That's one more star drop in the bag. It was time for another community quest. This will be the last one of the challenge. We have Juicy Bugs Wanted or Rock Rejuvenation. I'm going to go with Juicy Bugs Wanted. I decided to just go and wipe out some harmless bugs. There was also some key quests here. We had Keys Cuisine. I wasn't really set up for that, so I decided to do Let's Play a Game and try for the 50,000 points in Junimo card. I'm going to show you my best attempt on Junimo card. I'm not going to show you the 5 hours of attempts that I tried to beat the score 50,000. This was by far the best. I so close to getting 50,000 on this attempt. I believe this was the 4th level. This was the final jump to get 50,000, but I jumped just too soon, missed the steps, and I died. 46,000 points. I had all the fruits collected. I would have easily got over 50,000. When that happened, I gave it a few more tries and I just gave up after that. Junimo Kart is just such a hard game, and it's one of the few things in Stardew Valley that I haven't mastered. It was time to cheer up with the Diamond Hunter Book of Power. It costs 10 whopping diamonds, I had them though in a chest, so I purchased it. It means if I mine open a regular node, now you have to mine it open, not blow it open, there is a chance you will get a diamond. What's more, you can actually combine that with some of your mining perks, especially perks that will make you get double minerals. It actually works with the diamonds as well. So it's an absolutely amazing bug of power to have. So we're wiping out lots of bugs today for Clint's quest. We're also getting lots of diamonds too from just hitting open those regular rocks with our Iridium pickaxe. So it was a great day all in all. Once I got the 100 bug meat, I put it into Willie's bin. 3,000 gold in the bag for us and more friendship points with Willie. It was time for the Christmas event, the Feast of the Winter Star. I got Shane, I just gave him a bear that I bought from Gus the other day. He was happy with that. My secret gift giver was Sebastian, and I was dying to know what he was going to give me for all my efforts this year, and it was an emerald. It was so lackluster. You can get way better stuff. I did decide to buy some decorations though, so for the next couple of days, because we're more or less at the end of our challenge now, we're going to be putting some serious decorations into our foraging farm. We're going to make our farm look absolutely awesome. But first, we're going to upgrade our trash can yet again to a steel trash can. The next few days is just spent getting decorations. I'm going to get the Junimo catalogue here off the travelling cart merchant. It was very expensive, but it does give us lots of really cool Junimo furniture related items. I also went to Krobus and I'm going to purchase the wizard catalogue off him. It does cost 150,000 gold, but again, just like the Junimo catalogue, it's got some really good stuff. When you open the wizard catalogue, it said, my ex-wife took all the furniture. Fortunately, I had the good sense to make material copies. The wizard is just so funny. Looking through the catalogue, there's some real cool stuff here, and a lot of this stuff can be put outside of the farm as well. It's not all indoors. I also went to the cinema, and I decided to do the crane game a few times to get some extra decorations here too. You can get some real cool stuff in the cinema, including Christmas trees, all different manner of plants. You can get cool little Junimos and posters. I also got a duck mayonnaise off the travelling cart, and I swapped it in here for the Pinky Lemon statue, which is a really cool decoration. I swapped a Super Cucumber for the HMTGF decoration as well, that we can put outside our farm. I also gave a rabbit's foot to the Georgia truck driver here too, just to get the special charm to permanently increase my luck, because I managed to get a secret letter for that, so that was really nice. And finally, I went into Vincent's room and I put a strange bunt into his toy crate to get back the Foraging decoration. This is what the house looks like on the final day. It's a combination of Junimo and wizard decorations. I really love the cauldron as well. I really love the mats. There's just so many cool things. My last main 100 video, I went for the Georgia catalogue, which is pretty cool as well. But for this video, I wanted to show off the wizard collection and Junimo collection. I also put some wizard and Junimo decorations outside the farm too. And I have to say, I think this is probably one of the most entertaining challenges I have done. I loved this foraging challenge so much. The mushroom logs, the trees, the tappers, the dehydrators, it was just so much fun. The tea saplings, harvesting all the tea leaves, the new 1.6 mystic trees and all the tree syrups, all of the forageables I get to scythe up with the Iridium scythe. It was just an amazing challenge. I had great fun. If you've made it this far into the video, consider subscribing to the channel. If you like Stardew Valley content, if you like 100 day or 100% content, most of the time that's what you're going to see here. I do release small form videos too, but I love making the big videos as well. I just want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members again. Thanks so much for supporting my channel. And I also want to give a big shout out to everyone else that subscribed to me. Thanks so much for your subscriptions. Because of you, I reached 20,000 subscribers. It's a milestone I thought I would never reach. So I just want to say thanks a million, everyone. Thanks for making my dream a reality. Now let's aim for 100,000 subscribers and see if we can get there in the next year or two. I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now.